morning, Grenada. Good day wherever you are on the World Wide Web, live from New York. This is Saturday, September the 15th. This is the New York Connection, and I am Harold Pysadee. And a special good morning to all of the Seventh-day Adventists, wherever you are. If you are in church already or getting prepared to go to church today, good morning to you. While the Grenada New York Adventist organization is having their annual convention coming up next month. And as usual, it's built to be another great affair. We'll be chatting about that this morning. Because joining me is the Honorable President of the Grenada New York Adventist Organization, and he's also an elder in the church, Crofton Killis. Good morning, Crofton.
Good morning.
How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, and you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I know that the convention is coming up on the 6th of October. We're going to chat about that in a few minutes. But first of all, you had a walkathon 2 Sundays ago on the 2nd of September for a good cause. How did that go?
It went excellent. We are trying to raise funds for primarily 2 reasons. And for our next trip going to Grenada on our health mission in 2014, and also we are trying to establish a scholarship for our young people here in the local area. When I say local, I'm talking about the New York City area and also parts of New Jersey, whereby we can help fund the education with that scholarship. So the walkathon was geared to raise funds for those events.
Okay. Let's talk about that health fair. You said in 2014 you had a great one. Was it like last year?
Last year,
it was very, very successful. And I remember in another interview you were doing, you were saying that it takes a lot of effort to garner the resources to hold the health fair. And that's why it is spread out across a number of years. So if you're going to report to us now as to at what point are you in garnering those resources, what would you say?
Well, I would say we already started off quite nicely. This week we were able to get some boxes of supplies from one of the hospitals. And we are also on our fundraising drive because, as you know, it's an expensive venture. It takes a lot of money to make those kind of mission trips successful. And that's what we are doing. We have already brought it out to the public, making them conscious of the fact that we are looking for the financial support with the events that we are having. So right now we are on a good foot and we are making significant progress towards that trip in 2014.
And what other events would be coming up to raise even more funds leading up to 2014?
Well, we have the convention on October 6th, and in that convention we usually present our plans to the people. It is the convention will be at the Wingate High School, and that's on the 6th, starting from 9:15, and we have the entire day. And when we present the plans to the people, we ask for a special offering. We also have a tea party planned for October 28th, which also from the funds we would be able to support the program. And we have our next year into February, we have our Independence program plan, and all those events that we have are events whereby we would be able to raise funds for the trip. We also already began to contact the different corporations here in the U.S. to be able to give us the kind of support we need, because we did get quite a lot of support from some of those corporations as it relates to the mission trip. So all those things we have planned and we are working on, and we will execute as the time comes to be able to raise the funds to have a successful mission trip.
Well, you segued into the convention, which we're going to talk a bit about this morning. Now, the convention, you did mention, coming up October the 6th. The theme of the convention is restoring optimism in the valley of despair. This is a heavy one. Explain.
Well, actually, we are going through some difficult times, and we see that not only with our people, but globally. And people are stressed out, they are frustrated, especially with the economic conditions. But we want to restore hope in people, letting them know that what we are going through does not mean that it is the end of life where there is nothing to hold on to, but we want to give people the hope that regardless of how dark the present is, as you build yourself and as you prepare yourself for the future, you can hold on to that which is in the future, the hope that is in the future. And as you move on to the future, you must move on believing in a power that is higher than yourself, that is greater than yourself. And as you believe in that power that is greater than you, you would be able to accomplish all things.
So it's a great reminder for the people of the Adventist faith and anyone who wants to come to the convention, because it's open to anyone to come to the convention, that belief in God and faith, having that impetus to want to continue even in the depths of deep despair, is a theme that should walk with you every day. And this is something that I'm sure that you would be re-emphasizing at the convention this year, as you stated.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Now, the actual day, when the day begins at, you said 9:15 in the morning, what will be happening from that point?
At 9:15, we have what is known as a Sabbath school session. Seventh-day Adventist, we have what is known as a quarterly, where we have daily study of specific topics, items in the Bible, and at the end of the week, we come together and we review those studies. And also, what we are doing there this year also, we are promoting the plans of the organization and making people to be aware of what the purpose and the goals of the organization are. And the purpose and the goals of the organization is to help humanity. This is the basic purpose and goals. So we have to make people be aware of those goals and purposes, and to be conscious of the fact that the organization really, their shoulders are the shoulders of the organization, their legs are the legs of the organization, because as an organization we have now beginning to lay the platform down whereby we can become an independent entity. When I say independent entity, independent somewhat of the support of the people, because all the funds and all the support now really we are dependent on the people. But we want to bring the organization to a point where it will be able to generate its own income, and that is one of the reasons why we have established the scholarship fund that we are going to promote at the convention. Because one of the things we realize is that when we go to corporations here in the U.S., they will not give you the kind of support you need if you are not involved in social services. And not only social services, we are already involved in social services with our mission trip to the tri-island states of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. But the corporations want to see that we are doing something here for the locals in order to support us in any significant way. So when we establish the scholarship will show that we are helping people here locally, and as a result we'll be able to get better support from the corporations here in the U.S. And that is one of the main things we will be bringing before the people, and to help them to understand that particular goal which we have for the organization.
How comprehensive is the funding for the scholarships that you provide?
Well, the scholarship we provide, we cannot go to a corporation and tell them, oh, we're looking for support to help Seventh-day Adventist students. We would not get that. We cannot have a program where it is exclusively for Seventh-day Adventists. And this, we have never done that as an organization. That's why when we come to Grenada, we serve all people. It's the same thing here with the organization's scholarship for our locals. We have to serve Seventh-day Adventists, non-Seventh-day Adventists, and we have to even take it to a broader level where we have to serve Grenadians and non-Grenadians, because the corporation would not give you assistance to serve exclusively for Grenadians. So we have to, although the purpose of it is to help Grenadians, Grenadians will be the primary beneficiaries of the scholarship, but we cannot have it exclusively for Grenadians. So we have to have it at a broader scale. so that we can generate support from the corporations that will not only help us here locally, but it will provide funding so that when we go back to the trial and state, we'll be able to have a massive and a more program that will benefit people more to have a greater impact than we had in our previous trip to the trial and state.
I'm speaking with Crofton Kilist. He is the president of the Grenada, New York Adventist Organization. Remember that the annual Adventist Convention is coming up on October the 6th. It's at the George Wingate High School, 600 Kingston Avenue, right here in good old Brooklyn, at the corner of Winthrop. Now, it begins 9:15 in the morning. There's also going to be a social gathering from 8 o'clock in the evening where refreshments will be on sale. Crofton, one thing I'd like to touch on is the youths in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Any organization having a convention for any purpose looks at the participation of the youth, because any organization wants to know that the survivability of the organization in getting the message to the youths to ensure that there is a continuity would give the people who are working hard today more impetus to move on. Are you satisfied as a president that there is enough youthful involvement in the activities of the Adventist Church from a Grenadian perspective to begin with, and you expect lots of youths to be part of the convention on the 6th of October?
Well, the majority of the congregation could probably be the young people. And
you're still a young man.
You could say it like that. And one of the things we have to make sure as an organization, we must install in our youth culture, our culture, because the inflow of Grenadians coming to New York probably is less than, when we came here 30 years ago. So that for the culture to continue, we must, hand down the culture or teach our people the culture, our children the culture. And one of the things we are doing that we, as Grenadians here in the organization, is that our children who are born here in the U.S., that they know the culture, because there is going to be a time when we who are the most senior ones would not be able to carry out the responsibilities and the goals of the organization, and we would have to depend on our children. So as it relates to the convention, we always make sure that our young people are involved in, positions and carry out responsibilities that will more or less help them to take the power in their hand when we the senior ones can no longer carry on those responsibilities. As a church, we are involving our young people. We are training them so that, like I stressed for the organization, that the young people would also take on the responsibilities of the belief that we have as Seventh-day Adventists to carry on the work, because there is going to be a time when, we who are a little more senior would not have the strength to carry on. And as it relates to the participation, if you go to different churches, you would definitely see that they are very much involved. As a matter of fact, we have a special program every Sabbath known as Adventist Youth Program, where they run the program. They take on the responsibility and run in the program. On the morning sessions in the program, they are very much side by side with the more senior ones in assisting and in also carrying on the role of leadership in the church. So I think the foundation is there. The platform has been built so that our young people can carry on the work to shoulder the responsibility when we, the senior ones, could no longer carry on or to shoulder the responsibilities.
I had the pleasure of journeying to Maryland to be part of the last Adventist convention there. and traveled with the contingent from the New York area. And that's one of the things I admired there, Crofton, to see the participation, even as far as Canada, of the Grenadian Seventh-day Adventists who traveled far and wide to be a part of it. You expect that kind of participation also at the convention next month?
Well, the one in New York is like the mecca of all conventions.
And that should go without saying.
And that should go without saying. We have a greater representation of people coming from all over. And we expect no less this year. As a matter of fact, at last year's convention, we had quite a crowd there, and we are expecting even more this year. And I know when I was in Canada for their convention on July 28th this year, that they already plan to have a bus coming from Canada. So I know Canada will be fully represented. Maryland, every year they come with the buses, and I know that it would also be fully represented. We have people coming from the different states of the U.S. to the New York convention. So I know that it will be fully and well represented.
As I drive around Brooklyn, Crofton, almost in every nook and cranny, there's a Seventh-day Adventist church, and that is good to spread it as far and wide as possible. How does it work? Does each church have the responsibility to take care of its business of keeping the church going, or is there some sort of a help that's garnered from the head organization, so to speak? Educate me.
Well, you have the head organization, and then you have the local churches. The head organization does assist in the church's program, and also administrates in the running of the church's program, administrates to the pastor who reports to the head. He pastors the local congregation. The church has its program which it follows under the guidelines of the administrative body, but it's mainly responsible for carrying out its own program, except when there are cases when the church needs assistance from the upper administrative level. Then, we request such assistance, or assistance are given depending on the program we have. But basically, the church is to carry out its own program, and it is not just a program where you preach the gospel, but the church has its responsibilities to also help people and educate them as it relates to lifestyle and the kind of food you eat, and the way you treat your body, because as Seventh-day Adventists we believe that our bodies are the temple of God, so we must be able to educate people on lifestyle as it relates to the diet and things to avoid, because one of the things we find is that diabetes is quite rampant now than it was before, high blood pressure, and that is one of the things we are involved in doing, in educating people. Churches set up different areas where they have health fair, and the health fair is really to help people, to educate them about lifestyle. So it is not just holding the Bible and going to church on Saturdays, but also to be able to, have other days in the week where you have sessions, and to help people, change their lifestyle so that they could live a healthier life through exercising and your diet.
And Crofton, at the convention, you want to re-emphasize that it's open to anyone, irrespective of your denomination. Please come out, be a part of the convention, and let's spread the universal word of Jesus Christ.
That's correct. That's correct. It's open to everyone. And as I said earlier, the goals and, the purpose of the organization, although it bears the name of, a religious group, Seventh-day Adventist organization, its goals and purposes are for everyone, so that when we work to include everyone regardless of denomination.
Crofton, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Let me wish you and the organization a wonderful, productive, and a spiritual, uplifting convention on October the 6th.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Crofton Kilist, the president of the Grenada, New York Adventist organization. Remember, it begins at 9:15 in the morning on Saturday, October the 6th. It's at the George Wingate High School, the annual Seventh-day Adventist convention. And the social evening begins at 8 o'clock. And that will be at PS 289, 900 St. Mark's Avenue. That's between Brooklyn and Kingston Avenues. Okay, the St. Joseph's Convent in Grenville. They want me to remind you that coming up on the 20th of October is the annual dance. And that's to raise funds for the development of the convent back in Grenville. $50 to get in. It's at Africa House, 2265 Bedford Avenue at the corner of Snyder. The dress is semi-formal. You can call Selma Vincent at 718-421-6782. Join the girls from the Convent Grenville alumni in New York. And the MacDonald College Ex-Student Association, they're having their annual ball on the 17th of November. They want me to tell you to keep the date in mind. It's at the Tropical Reflection at Glenwood Road between 45th and 46th Streets. The price is all-inclusive, $65. That's $65, all-inclusive, food and drinks. Call Lazarus at 908-461-4630. Remember that the funding is still on. Yes, that's for the X-ray unit for the Princess Alice Hospital in St. Andrew. Yeah, the Princess Alice Hospital in St. Andrew needs the X-ray unit and a future hospital upgrade. And in loving memory of Mr. Reynold Benjamin, Reynold and Nadia Benjamin Medical Foundation Incorporated, they are spearheading the raising of the funds for that. There's an account set up at the Grenada Cooperative Bank, and they're asking you to give generously so that they can purchase that X-ray unit for the hospital. And the account number at the Grenada Cooperative Bank is 321-004-237. That's 321-004-237. You can call Mrs. Nadia Benjamin at 442-7246. That's the local number, 442-7246. Or the international number at 718-475-6442. Remember, the Princess Alice Hospital needs the X-ray unit and a future hospital upgrade. Support that cause. The GBSS Alumni Association will be presenting their 21st Annual Scholarship Awards and Christmas Dinner Dance Saturday, December the 8th. Everybody want me to tell you about that thing early. Them fellas ain't making joke at all. And this one is at Anton's in Queens. Donation is $100, and among the special guests will be the Olympians and world champion Karani James together with Kurt Felix. Music by Ajamo and his band from Virginia and DJ Wax. There'll be a special autographing session planned with the world and Olympic champion James and the NCAA champion Felix. The executive committee and members of the GBSS Alumni of New York, they are grateful for your continuing support. So they say that mark that date on your calendar for that big event coming up on this 8th of December. Okay, so remember that coming up soon is the Seventh-day Adventist New York. Grenadians of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in New York. They'll be having their annual convention coming up on the 6th of October. And as you heard Crofton saying, all of the Grenadian organizations of the 7th...